Hey everyone, just want to do a quick review on the show Accused on Fox. It's basically a courtroom drama. It always ends up in the courtroom, but it starts out with, of course, a crime or a story that happens and then it's taken to court. So to me, it's a little bit of a twist on our regular courtroom dramas. It focuses on the accused more than the police officers trying to solve the crime, like your CSIs, your FBIs, your law and orders. It's more from the point of view of the person that is going through the certain issue, the criminal or the victim. It's kind of through that perspective. And I don't think it comes from the headlines exactly like some of the other shows, but some of the cases that I've seen look like things that have happened or could happen. So I do think it's a dramatization, but it's to me, I think it's very entertaining and it kind of dramatizes that whole courtroom thing. I don't know what it is, but the courtroom shows, even our court shows like People's Court, etc., Divorce Court, these are popular for entertainment, Judge Judy and all of that. So it's like kind of following along those lines as well as, the FBI, CSI, and Law and Order style shows. But it's all dramatized. So I'm going to pull out a couple of episodes, spoilers that I liked. And it gives me a little Lifetime twist at the end. I think that that's what takes it to me to another level. And I know some of the other shows have done that in a way, but couple of the stories stand out for me. And so I like this show. If you're in the courtroom dramas, it ends in the courtroom, but it's definitely more of a drama. Uh there's one where the father remarries the stepmom, and there's a young man, he just does not connect with her. He doesn't like her. He thinks that she's poisoning the family. But from all intents and purposes, she looks like a nice lady. And it looks like he may have a mental illness. And he's the one that is, coming up with this in his head because he doesn't like her replacing his mom. And, this is just how everybody is seeing it on his perspective. Even the girl that he likes, he tries to get her to help him, and she's looking at him like needs help. So in all intents and purposes, this kid looks like he needs help. He's going through a mental health crisis. Of course, he may be traumatized from losing his mom, and then this new person comes in, changes the whole household and the whole dynamic. And even from the audience's perspective, she looks like she's a nice lady and that he needs help. So he ends up stabbing her. Yes, there's violence in there. He ends up stabbing her, and that even further solidifies that he probably needs some help with his mental health. Um, then we cut to him being, I think he's imprisoned or he's in like a mental hospital, and time has gone by. She comes and nicely talks to him, but this time she's giving me like a creepy Stepford wife, perfect vibe. And she's acting like she feels sorry for him, but she's going to keep looking out for him, keep coming to see him. Then she informs him that his dad died. And then she informs him also that his brother is sick right now. So in all intents and purposes, it looks like he was right, because after he's locked up, his whole family falls ill and ends up dying. Well, his father and his brother is now sick. And she's still there, probably collecting whatever insurance monies or whatnot from the whole incident. So I like that one. It gave me definitely Lifetime vibes. She really was the perpetrator. She really was one of those crazy people. I don't want to say crazy, but very disturbed people that I've heard stories where they do that. They marry people and they drug them, and they do it in such a way, trace amounts that you can't really tell. And that was the story. The boy was trapped in that mental hospital while the true and real criminal was free, and she'll probably marry again. So that's one of the episodes. Another episode, spoiler, this one had Malcolm Jamal Warner in it, and his child was violated by a molester, and the molester happened to be a white guy in the park. Him and his wife find out, and the police bring them in and all of that. So of course he's upset. He feels like he should have protected his daughter and been there and stopped this guy. His friends rile him all up and say, let's look for this guy. The police aren't going to do anything. The detective on the case is black, but they're saying no, he's just a cop. He's on not on our side. So they end up finding the guy. They go get Malcolm's character, who's the dad, and they kind of start something with this guy, start beating on him and all this. And Malcolm even gets some blows in. They tell him, come on, get this guy. They kind of rile him up and kind of root for him and cheer him on and say, hey, you want to hit this guy for what he did to your daughter. So he gets a few hits in. Then they continue to like kind of kick him and beat him, and he tells them to stop. Okay, that's enough. And they start to leave, but the main guy that started it all and said, come on, let's get this guy, he goes back, and that's his friend, stomps him a few more times, breaks his phone so he can't call for help, and then they leave. So cut to maybe a few days later, a little bit later, detective comes to his house and basically says, we found the guy's dead. Malcolm's freaked out. Like, of course he's acting like he has no idea and there's nothing, he has no involvement. But he goes, his friends freaked out saying the guy's dead. I didn't know we killed the guy. He said, I wanted to stop, but you kept, but whatever the case, they kind of came up with an alibi saying they went to work or whatnot. And that's what happened. They were all working together because they work at the same company. So my thought was like, wow, okay. The detective gives him a chance to, come clean, say, I don't know, I don't feel like your story is completely straight. You could come clean now, tell me what happened. But he sticks to his story and sticks with his friends and all of that. And he knows one of his friends doesn't want to go back to jail, so he doesn't want to throw his friend under the bus, which was kind of the main guy, the main person that went after the guy in the first place. So cut to, okay, him and his wife, he actually confesses to his wife, and it's been worrying him about the whole situation, and they keep investigating, and he doesn't know what's going to happen. So she says, uh, I'd hate to throw your friend under the bus, but he's, kind of been playing you for a while, and he takes more than he gives. So we don't want you to get in trouble. So you need to confess and say, you didn't do it, and that you weren't the main person that was involved. So they go to confess, him and his wife. Detective says, hey, you know what? Sorry, it's too late. They start to arrest him. He said, what changed? He starts to look around. He sees the two buddies that helped kick the guy's butt coming out the back, and he figures out they threw him under the bus. And so I kind of figured that might happen. And that's basically how it ends. Of course, it ends up in the courtroom, and Malcolm looks like he's going to take the whole rap for the crime. Even his friend is on stand lying, provokes him. He even gets up and is like, you're lying, I'm going to kill you. So it even makes him look even worse. Good episode. It seems like there's always somebody shady. It's always a twist. It's always a little something that to me, is kind of what I thought, or what was in the back of my mind was actually true. So it's kind of predictable, but kind of satisfying the way that they do the twist on Accused. Check it out. I'm looking forward to seeing more episodes. It's definitely a dramatization. It has some real possibilities to it, but I don't think it's based in any real cases. It could be based, but definitely the outcomes are lifetime dramatic style outcomes and twist endings that you might not expect. So just want to share that show with you guys. Accused. Check it out.